Hey guys, welcome to Dave Weber's Foot Zoning. I am going to be doing a video by popular request of turning on the Ionic Cleanse Foot Detox without anyone's feet in it. In fact, I'm going to invite Ghosty here, and he's going to put his feet in it. Anyways, had several people just wondering what their reactions in the water are going to be like without anyone's feet, and I'm also curious to see if it even works. And I'm going to read to you a few pages from the official, the one and only guide to the Ionic Foot Detox, the little manual that this thing came with. So we'll go ahead and start from scratch. You see that? Not even the water was poured in yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. There's that array. That's the guy that emits the negative ions out into the water and does the magic. Try not to do too much splashing. I don't want Ghosty here to get all splashed by this water. Okay. We have the water. Now, let's go ahead and turn this guy on. What I want to do is go to the same mode we always do, the same amount of time we always do as well, and we're going to hit the start button. Okay, as you can see, there's no voltage or amp. If it's, yeah, there we go, focusing in. Let's see if that changes with the addition of salt. I'm looking over at the green screen, just so you know. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is apply this metal band, and if there are a few of you who have gotten the cleanse, you are very well aware of what this thing is. So just bear with me. You're going to look at the ceiling for just a few seconds. I need to put this band on my wrist so we can give it power. And maybe it'll start doing its thing if I give it power. Okay. Just double check everything is plugged in and in good working order. Okay, are you sick of looking at the ceiling? Alright, let's go ahead and point you to the water. So far we're not getting anything. The voltage is still at 0 and the amp is 0. I do indeed have the wrist thingy on me. Let's go ahead and add some more salt, see if that has anything to do with it whatsoever. Maybe stir it up a little bit here. And that, oh, we have something to fix. You see how new we are at this, guys? Let me go ahead and fix something here. I have to take the wristband off. I need more water. That's what I'm noticing. So follow me here. We're just going to take a quick field trip. Get some more water. Because the black box in there, that array, is not entirely covered with water. I wonder if that has something to do with it. There's no feet in there, right? Mr. Ghosty doesn't have any density, and so I have to add a lot more water to really be successful and make this work. We got to drown the black box. It's got to be completely submerged in water. I'm looking over at the green screen, still nothing. I'm going to add a little bit more water, see if that makes a difference. This might not turn out to be exactly what we had hoped, guys. Gonna add a little bit more here. So, go ahead and look at the ceiling again. I'm sorry. I'm probably making you guys really dizzy here. I'm just going to apply this bracelet on that is connected to the Ionic machine. Okay. Snap that closed. All right, I'm back. As you can see, nothing is happening. We don't have anything from Mr. Ghosty coming out, nor is any electricity being conducted. If I add even a little bit more water here, see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what'll happen. So far, nothing has happened. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my manual that I was going to read from. We're going to do something that I did not plan for. If I can get myself coordinated. I'm going to go ahead and stick my feet in that water. It is cold water too, so I'm not going to be too happy. Thanks a lot, guys, for making me do this. I'm just joking. I love you guys. I will do a lot for you. I hope you know. Okay, so my feet are in quite cold water. It is not hot because I didn't take the time to warm it up. Okay, so my feet is in the water. I want to show you something. Do you see that? They're not zeros anymore. The voltage, in fact, did go up to 14.7. That is a normal number I see every single time I do this. I wasted 5 minutes, okay? Nothing happened for 5 minutes. The amp is now at 1.2. And for those of you who know what's up, we know that the amp should be 1.5 to 2.0. So I'm going to add a little bit more salt to this. I'm going to move my array more into the middle here. So, gotta keep flavored, you know. Salt really helps with the flavor and everything. I'm just kidding. Okay, so 1.3. How much water do we need to have? Or, not water, salt. We have plenty of water. I guarantee you that. I'm just going to look over here now. 1.4. Give it a little bit more. Wiggle the toes, right? I tell my clients to wiggle the toes sometimes to stir up the salt. This, like I said, is not what I was anticipating at all. This machine is a lot smarter than I thought. Apparently, other Ionic cleanse machines were activated and started to change water, the color of the water, before people put their feet inside. Mine did not do that. Mine did not do that. If it does, I'll have to do a follow-up video to correct myself, but I don't know. I checked everything. Everything's plugged in. I mean, it's working. I got my handy-dandy strengthener band on my left arm. What else could you ask for, right? Indeed, look at that. We do see a color change. My feet are in the water, and it's only been a couple minutes, even though this machine has been on for like 5 minutes. It is now just barely emitting the foggy looking stuff. And it only started to do that when I put my feet in the water. You know, does that just blow your mind or what? Okay, let's go ahead and check. Oh, look at that. We're at 2.4. Voltage is a 15.0. You know what that means? Stop adding salt and just sit back and relax. So it gets progressively darker as we go along, as you can tell. I'm going to reach down here. We're going to read it. I'm going to read you guys a little story. A little story called Regain Health and Vitality. Ionic Cleanse Detox Foot Spa Explained. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. That's going to take an hour. I am, however, going to open up to this page. So the question now is, you know what? I can probably just read it from my phone. I would usually use my flashlight because I can see it better, but I think this is actually doable, guys. This is going to be a longer video. So, okay, here we go. Many colors and objects appear in the water during ionic cleanse sessions. There is a reaction between the toxins and particles in the water. The salt added to the water, the metals in the array, foot lotions, etc., on the feet, and the acidity or alkalinity of the person doing the foot bath. Okay. The basic color produced by these reactions varies from one geographic area to another. The type of water in one part of the country is a lot different from other areas of the country. Interesting. Therefore, it is important to understand that the water will change color even if the unit is operating without feed in the water. Well, no, it's not, unless I have a different model that they're not referring to, because that was not the case. The basic color change is a result of the reaction between all of the variables in the water and the array as discussed here. This color will vary in accordance with the toxic and chemical components of the water and air given in a particular geographical area. I'm going to pause there. Let's see what our water looks like now. Oh, can you see my feet in the water? It's a lot darker. I can't hardly see it. Oh, there it is. I'm kind of zoomed in, aren't I? Let's continue reading. And just as a disclaimer, other models very well could be triggered even without the limbs in the water. I think my model just will not have it. It just will not change unless there is feet in the water. So I guess my machine is smarter than I thought. The toxins in our bodies will look the same as the toxins predominate in the specific area. However, there will be more toxic particles in the water with feet in it. Obviously, you will also find that water-based toxins will not stick to the side of the bucket and array, whereas substances pulled from the body will form a ring. Through many tests, we have found that the residue in the bucket is easily rinsed off if the unit operates without feet in the bucket, whereas the residue produced while a person's feet are bathed has been found to stick to the bucket and cling to the array. When the water becomes excited, it ejects tiny particles and they become visually observable in the water. This will tend to make the water look dirty brown. Okay, it's interesting. And I just got a notification that my battery is at 15%, so give me a minute here. I'm going to reach over and grab my cord. There we go. Phone will be happy now. All right, shall we continue our story? Of course, just how dirty the water becomes is related to how much sediment is in the actual water. When you test a bucket of water to see this principle with no body parts in the water, I wonder if I'm doing it wrong. I'll have to do some more research. How dirty it actually becomes will generally be the same each time you use it. Use a new bucket of water from the same source. If you were to run this test over and over again, but with a different person's feet in the water each time, whose feet are in the water, what happens to the water can be amazingly different. Okay, obviously, person to person, we're all different. We all have different toxins, right? Sometimes the water will be dirtier and sometimes cleaner from person to person without taking the individual whose feet are in the water into account.
the watercolor change seems completely random, but of course it is not. Only after a lot of observation, excuse me, which, just so you know, guys, I've had the pleasure of observing many people's feet, well over 10 different individuals, and it has been consistent with the health condition that they are suffering from. Uh, and excuse me, I need some water. It correlates with uh, the watercolor. Where am I at, guys? Only after a lot of observation can you begin to see uh, what you already knew from the start. It is the health of the person that plays a vital role in conjunction with the water. Okay, are we still doing good? 2.4 is our amperage. Let's see the water now. Can't hardly see my feet now. Got some bubbles going on. Yeah, if you recall, there was nothing that was happening before I put my foot in. So, just as everybody's ability to absorb energy is different, the reaction of the water is going to be different. Remember, good health equals better energy ability. Poor health equals not so good energy ability. It is this factor that the water reacts to. Don't forget that the water also wants to keep some energy for itself. It deserves energy just as much as you do. Our water is smart, isn't it? This means the energy created by the water is going to have to be shared by both you and the water. If you are in reasonable shape, you're going to be able to get your fair share of energy. But if you're not, you're only going to be able to absorb the amount your body can handle, with the rest being kept in the water. So people with poor health tend to have a watercolor after treatment that would be dark brown. We have also noticed that as a person continues with the ionic cleanse foot baths, the water, excuse me, the water will be, sorry, will become a lighter color as treatments progressed. On the other hand, if we treat a healthy person with the ionic cleanse foot baths, the water may only change to a very light brown because the healthy person can absorb their fair share of the energy produced by the water. So what I say to that, guys, when you get a foot zona, you don't feel like hardly anything even after a couple zones. You don't hardly see anything in the ionic foot cleanse. I say congratulations to you. You are very fortunate to have such a healthy body. In the end, it comes down to a balancing act between the water and the person, taking into account how much energy the person can absorb and how much energy the water needs to dislodge its impurities. Of course, this is very simple explanation of the energy exchange that occurs with ionic cleanse. It can get a little more complicated because it also depends on how much energy the water in your geographic location can produce. All these factors affect what happens during the treatment. Okay, important note right here. While the color changes in the water can be dramatic, it is not the most important factor, and one must be careful about making any judgments based only on the water color. Some water Some waters do not change color, and it is not always an indicator of whether energy is being produced. The best indicator that may be found in the water after a treatment would be an oily substance located on the container at water level. It generally contains materials released from the outer layers of the skin. Okay, I kind of knew that one. I hope you did as well. We're cleansing the outer layer of the skin as well. Obviously, the pores are being cleansed and opened up. Uh, anyways, another indicator after treatment can be found in the color change in the urine of the individual treated. So now we're talking about the aftermath. Body function is increased, which results in a darker coloring of the urine. Keep in mind, a darker coloring of urine can also be seen after eating because the body is processing waste materials. After a treatment, even though no food has been consumed, the extra energy seems to activate waste products or toxin removal, evidenced by its presence in the urine. The ionic cleanse treatment stimulates the body's detoxification pathways. So if you do notice a darker urine color, that's just a side effect, further proof that things are happening. Here's my water. We're steadily, continually getting darker and darker. Did I mention that this water, I did not put hot water. I was not patient enough to let it warm up. I am soaking in it was lukewarm at best. It's just simply room temperature to cold. And it still appears to be working like it should. So I guess you don't have to have hot water. And I will most definitely always give you hot water, though. Many different colors and objects may appear in the water during a treatment. Yellow, green, orange, brown, black, dark green, white foam, white cheese-like particles, black flecks, red flecks, bubbles of differing colors, and brown particles. And if I might add, for my audience, little creatures. Really gross. White foam indicates waste from the lymph glands. White cheese-like particles indicate probable yeast. Black flecks indicate heavy metals. Orange indicates detoxifying from joints. Red flecks indicates blood clot material, etc. Also, when the when the water is changing colors, each color represents a part of the body that is being detoxified. One of the most visual effects is the discoloration of the water, but while the color changes in the water can be dramatic, it is not the most important factor, and one must be careful about making any judgments based on the watercolor. So they kind of gave me that statement before. Some people claim that what you see in the water are toxins being drawn right out of your body, but most of what you see happening with the water is related directly to the water that is being used. You can easily test this for yourself if you have the opportunity to run the ionic cleanse units in a container of water with no body parts in the water. Like I said, that's kind of baloney for my machine. It did not let me do that. You will probably see a pretty dramatic color change take place. Although some colors do not change color, some waters do not change color, even with the look like, even with the feet in the water. Again, like I got some trouble seeing. That's why I'm using this phone as a magnifying glass to begin with. So I'm grateful for your patience with me. The person using the water does influence what the water will look like. So even using the same water source, the way the water looks can vary greatly among individuals. We're almost done, guys, I promise. There will be those occasions where the water stays fairly clear during a session. This doesn't necessarily mean that the person is not toxic, but rather that he or she might be under so much stress that the body does not have enough energy, or what I like to say, resources, to detoxify. A healthier lifestyle and more foot bath sessions can help resolve this issue. And might I add, a change in diet, lifestyle habits, foot zones can greatly release your energy flows, help you to release your stresses. Life is hard. We need to support ourselves with the meditation, which is medication, and herbs and healthy food. The Ionic Cleanse is an energy producing machine. We see the most benefit and detox after a session and not necessarily during a foot bath. When the body is better balanced and charged, the body will be better able to detoxify through its regular channels of detoxification, such as the kidneys, colon, and liver. That is where I'm going to end with our reading. Thank you so much for being patient with me with that. Again, I'm going to go ahead and do some more experimentation and see if I can, get it going without the feet being in there. This is a first. Thank you for experimenting with me. I'm still at 2.4, a good consistent number, drying the junk out of my feet. I did not plan on doing a detox foot bath tonight, guys. This is unplanned. How many minutes do I have left? Oh my gosh, I only got 7 minutes left. Should we just keep rolling till we're done? They say Facebook can handle up to 10 gigabytes of a video. I doubt that this will quite get there. My average one, if it's like a 10-minute video, it's getting only like 2 to 3 gigabytes worth of a video. Thank goodness I upgraded my phone to a 64 gig. This would not even be possible. So there's blessings there for using a phone that actually can provide that. And of course, my water bottle is 1,000 feet away, so I'm gonna have to wait till the end of the video to get a drink. But that's okay. We'll survive. Can you see that? 6 minutes left. Amperage is 2.4. Voltage is 14.9. Those are healthy numbers for a healthy foot detox. Oh, so you can go online and you can find out that foot zoning is complete hogwash. Ionic cleanse foot detoxes are complete scams. You can find that, and you can also find that for thousands of years in history books that people have been detoxifying their feet with negative ions. They just didn't use the electricity part. They used Mother Earth part. They used bentonite clay. They used essential oils, which, they're derived from our plants, which come from Mother Earth. They use salt, which are derived from Mother Earth again. So everything from Mother Earth is negative ions. This is negative ions, okay? So this is an ancient foot bath, but with technology on steroids. So we are sucking out the toxins so much faster. So again, I was saying, a lot of people say, oh, this is science cannot prove that foot zoning works. Science cannot prove that we're detoxifying any chemicals or toxins or bacteria, viruses, things like that into the water. Well, they say. However, how can we explain the millions and millions of people who have been blessed by foot zoning, their pain levels decrease, their lives improved, cells healing up? How can they explain that one? And what about all the tens of thousands of reviews of individuals who have tried the current technology of the Ionic foot cleanse, and they also reported of decreases in pain, decreases in swelling in their feet, in their various areas of their body, metabolism boost, hormone functioning better than they'd had before after a bunch of cleanses. I'm not here to convince you. I can talk about things until I'm blue in the face. I don't have to convince myself anymore because I've already felt the amazing benefits of doing foot zoning and ionic cleansing. I don't have to. I am my own best guinea pig. I am my own best witness. What I challenge you is to get your own witness. Give it a try. Either it works for you, or I guess it doesn't work for you. Like I say, and like I said in the booklet, sometimes we are so overburdened with stress that we won't feel a release. We won't feel a difference after a foot zone or an ionic cleanse until we take care of the stress part of it, and then we can open up the channels and help you to get the antispasmodic effects of the foot zones and really feel a difference in the ionic cleanse. Um, so our stress can block certain things. And again, there are some individuals that are just organic and they eat healthy foods all their lives, and they might not take up toxins like the rest of us mortals. No, I'm just kidding. God bless you for living well. That's what I have to say. Um, and sometimes we just struggle with our diets, and sometimes we don't live in the most cleanliness of circumstances or areas of the world where pollution is running rampant. Our hair products, our lotions, creams, our perfumes, our deodorants, a lot of those things contain toxins, and our poor livers have to work its darnest to process those toxins. That is one reason why we see such awfulness in the water sometimes. It comes from the toxins that we didn't even realize were toxins. I should have gave you a verbal warning before this video that if you have a sensitive stomach, you might not want to watch this. Um, was I smart and left the flashlight near me? I only have 1 minute, guys, and then I'm going to end this video. I found my flashlight, so let's illuminate some of this, shall we? This is a result of a 30-minute foot cleanse that I did not even plan on. Pretty goobery, pretty gross. I opened up this black box in there, that array, and there's nothing that can explain that something could produce this color without it coming out of someone's body or reacting somewhat with the pollutants in the water itself. So we got floaters in there. We got things on top of the water. Like I said in the booklet, that is evidence that we